Story 1. Two big things. 1. Stretch every day. 2. Automatic investing. Don't overcomplicate either of these. You don't need to be a yoga expert or financial expert to realize the massive benefits of both of these. Story 2. Do not worry too much about having your life figured out. Most people in their 30s still do not have it all together. Just enjoy the journey and be open to new experiences. Also, start investing in a good moisturizer because your skin will thank you in the long run. Story 3. Be yourself unless being yourself is unkind. If your moral compass is skewed, align it before you disrupt someone else's happiness. Smile through the hard times, no matter how difficult it may be, because finding humor in even the direst situations will help you make good friends and appreciate life more. No one likes someone who is always negative. Don't be that person. At some point in your life, you're going to have to fight, either physically or mentally. Do it for the right reasons and do it to win, not just to put on a good show. It's okay to want to rise to the top. It's also okay to be satisfied with where you are, as long as it pays your bills honestly. Children are wonderful additions to life for those who want them, but not everyone does. If you have them, love the ways they are like you while also appreciating the ways they aren't. You aren't creating a clone. Do not let the fear of failure deter you from pursuing something you want. If you succeed, appreciate those who tried and failed. If you fail at something, do not resent those who succeeded. It's hard to think someone is truly unkind just due to incompetence alone. So don't worry too much if you don't grasp something on the first try. As long as you have the right attitude, people won't think poorly of you. It sounds cliche, I know, and there are many other pieces of advice, but those are the kind of things someone older than me once shared, and it's not done me any harm. Another really important one I'd add is that loyalty cannot be bought, but it can be rewarded. Be loyal to those you have promised loyalty to at all costs because how you deal with promises defines you. For example, if you promise someone discretion or loyalty or anything else, then keep it. It's just old school class. Don't be one of those gossipy people who always say, "Oh, don't tell anyone I told you this because they told me not to." But A and B are. That is truly low class. If you have even the slightest doubt that you can keep a promise, don't make it. Strive to be the person that everyone who knows them would describe as, "Yeah, they're solid." Story 4. Life doesn't always follow the perceived plan of finding the love of your life, marrying them, buying a house, and having children. Enjoy your life and don't worry about timelines or milestones set by society that were very different for previous generations. Live first. Story 5. Don't get attached to alcohol. If you have something to get out of your head, talk to someone. Don't reach for the bottle as a solution. Drink because you actually enjoy it, not to erase the memories. Story 6. Start a retirement account. Set up automatic deposit. Even if it's like $50 or $100 per month. Whenever you get a raise, increase the automatic deposit amount. People are like, "Well, I don't know what to invest in." Anyone who says that to me, I make a little portfolio spelling their name with stock tickers. Story 7. Do a lot of stuff. You have no idea what you like yet. You don't know what you want to do yet. Keep saying yes and doing new things to figure out how you want to spend your time. Story 8. I am not over 30, but the best advice I have heard is to focus on building good habits now because they will shape your future. Save even a little money regularly. Take care of your health. Trust me, late nights hit differently later. And do not stress if you do not have everything figured out. Your 20s are for exploring, making mistakes, and learning what you actually want in life. Oh, and do not let social media trick you into thinking everyone else has it all together. They do not. Story 9. I have 2. 1. Enjoy now. Work hard at building your life, but enjoy your youth, your 20s. You will never have the time again. Travel if you want, dream big if you want. You aren't tied down, you aren't limited but limitless. Be confident about yourself and your future and relish your energy, vitality, youth, and whatever you enjoy. Don't think it will all get better in some future. Enjoy the now. Stop putting apostrophes on plural years like 20s unless they are genuinely possessive. Story 10. Unsure of your family's ages? but try to make time for all your relatives. I spent a lot of time out and working, and not enough time with my grandparents before they passed away. Story 11. One day you sit on Reddit and think, oh cool, let's see what this people over the age of 30, what would be your advice for people going into their 20s? Post has to offer, and then stand up to grab something too quickly and your back hurts, and you realize you are in your 30s. Time flies. Start your financial education. Story 12. Don't mess up your financial situation and spend the entire decade in debt instead of traveling or getting a degree in something. My biggest mistake in my early 20s was mismanaging my money, and the repair of damages took years, closing many doors during that time. So act responsibly but have fun. Story 13. Don't start drinking. Start saving money. Learn a skill or trade. Don't buy that car yet. Get the one you can afford, not the one you want. There will be time and money later on. Keep in touch with your friends. Call your parents more often. They love you more than anyone, and you will miss them when they're gone. Try new things and never be afraid to be embarrassed. Nobody is thinking about you as much as you think they are. Invest in yourself, believe in yourself, and cut anyone loose who is holding you back from being the best version of yourself. That romantic relationship you're in now isn't necessarily the most important thing in the world. There may be heartbreak, but you have not met everyone who will love you. Don't take yourself too seriously. Nobody knows entirely what they're doing. Some just fake it better than others. Good luck. Story 14. This might be selfish, but take advantage of being on your parents' insurance before you're removed. Also, you do not have to have everything figured out in your 20s. If you settle down into a stable job, you are very lucky. You will change so much basically every 2 years through your 20s. Try new things and find what brings you enjoyment. Try not to spend too much of your time only focused on work. Story 15. Don't do so many drugs or drink too much. Seriously, they're not as fun as you think, and you'll look back on it and say, I wish I had made more of myself when I had the chance. Story 16. Don't stay in abusive relationships. Don't be in a hurry to get married. Focus on school, your health, and hobbies rather than on temporary people. Invest time in family, especially grandparents if you're lucky to still have them, as you won't soon. Story 17. Adaptability, hard work, learning from past mistakes, willingness to listen, and a positive attitude will make you unstoppable. Also, stay in shape even if it is 30 minutes to an hour. Make time to work out. When you hit 30, you will be shocked at how many people let themselves go or health is on the decline. Story 18. Get an exercise routine, manage your finances, learn to live without, invest in your retirement as heavily as you can, and learn how to repair the things you own. For example, take care of your body and your finances. I dated someone 9 years my junior 2 years ago, and her argument was you might not live long enough to enjoy the retirement you are saving for. Spend it now. Don't be that short-sighted. Story 19. Your 20s will look like one of two things. If you got the support and nurture you needed growing up, including being encouraged to develop your independence as a teen, and were given good skills and habits you'll need in adulthood, your 20s will be spent creating the life you want to live with respect to career, love, creativity, education, and personal interests. If there were gaps in your childhood in learning what you need to be an adult, your 20s will be spent trying to play catch-up so you can fix what you need to fix and learn what you need to learn. Pretty much everyone falls somewhere in the middle of these two. Story 20. Brush your teeth. Starting around now, it gets progressively harder to modify your body. Building muscle, getting in shape, losing weight, all that stuff. Take care of your joints. Lift with your legs and all that jazz. Get in the habit of learning stuff, languages, home repair skills, things that will be of use. Learn to do something that very few people can do. Anything that you can use to show off. It's fantastic for your self-confidence, like solving a Rubik's Cube, rolling coins, or performing card tricks. Story 21. I think the opposite of spending time on your phone is to read a classic novel. One day you will meet that special person, and you will wish you came prepared. Travel if you can. Story 22. Get into good habits now. Maintain a healthy routine of a good diet and exercise. Work on your mobility and flexibility with yoga. And look after your teeth. You only get one set of teeth. Veneers look unappealing and tend to make people sound different. Invest a nice portion of every paycheck and get used to only spending half of what you earn. Budgeting helps with this. You have the power of compounding interest and time on your side. If you invest in index funds a portion of each paycheck for 10 years, you will be way ahead in terms of profits compared to your friends or people who started investing much later. Good luck. Story 23. All the emotional events that are going to happen to you, such as breakups, friendships beginning and ending, career false starts, failures, starting over, moving to a new place, are all going to feel significant. Every failure and breakup is going to feel like the end of everything. Every new start is going to feel like you're the first person to ever do this. Some of it will be significant, but in 10 years, you'll look back on most of it with kinder eyes. You'll realize you made some mistakes. You'll shake your head at your 23-year-old self and say, "What were you doing?" You won't remember the name of the ex you spent weeks crying over, convinced you'd never love anyone else. You'll think about the best friend you had a falling out with, and maybe you'll reach out, or they will, and you'll go get coffee and catch up and say, "What were we even fighting about? We were so dramatic." And maybe you'll meet up again, or maybe you won't. At the end of the day, you'll realize the most significant life choices you made were the small ones, the ones you didn't think about at the time, not the ones you agonized over. The things that mattered to you so much won't be what matters to you now, and that's okay. Life changes and grows around you, and you'll grow with it in ways you can't predict or plan for. Story 24. Start dollar cost averaging into stock and never sell it. Start from your first paycheck. Start with an S&P fund like SPY or VOO. Then, over time, add some individual names of companies you know and use. If you use Siri, start to buy their stock a little at a time. Never sell. If you need income, you can sell covered calls and buy some dividend stocks. If I had never sold anything, I'd have a sizable portfolio. Buy life insurance when you're young, even a cheap policy. The older you get, the more expensive it is, and you can become uninsurable. This is if you plan to have kids. Enjoy your 20s and explore. Travel while you can. There's no need to get married at 22. Starting a family in your 30s is very reasonable, and your career will be more set. Try different jobs in different industries. All experience is helpful. Don't burden yourself with debt if you can avoid it. Marry well. A partner can ruin your life. It's better to be single than miserable. Sadly, job hopping is often seen as a way to move your career faster. Loyalty doesn't pay like it used to. Moving every 2 to 3 years is considered acceptable. Stop comparing your life to social media influencers. A lot of it is nonsense. They aren't all flying around in private planes, and the Bentleys and Lamborghinis are rented. Yes, some have done very well, but most have not, and comparison is the thief of joy. Story 25. Learn how to communicate your needs. Many people allow things they dislike to slide in an effort to be agreeable. They allow resentment to build until they break and then cut others off. What they don't realize is that the other person is often agreeable and willing to work on things that are bothersome. The lack of communication can rob you of some otherwise fantastic friendships, relationships, and family connections. You learn to communicate your wants and needs as you grow into your 30s and wish you'd learned that skill sooner. Story 26. Health is wealth. Invest your money from the get-go. Do not marry the first person you see. Keep in touch with friends. Keep extended family at arm's length. Protect your money from future exes. Never let anyone know how much you are worth. Volunteer once in a while. That's a good enough starting list. Story 27. Do not get into debt trying to look a certain way, or you will be in a bad situation later in life. Set aside money for emergencies and start saving for retirement. Take care of your body. Exercise to stay healthy and fit. It will get harder to maintain these habits with age. Enjoy the youth you have now without extremes. Have a good time, but cut back if you are always hungover or spending too much money. Do not take criticism personally. People who care about you have noticed behavior that could be improved. Story 28. Budget income and expenses and invest the difference. This will make your life much easier in the future. Trust me. Also, look after your health. You might not realize the fragility of your health even when you're in your 30s, for example. I still feel fine, no issues. But your mid-40s and beyond will thank you for this. At least that's what I heard from the older guys. Story 29. Learn how to make money or get a good job because a livable wage really matters. Also, retirement funds are important. Another thing, go on dates and find a partner because having friends after 30 is a different experience, and you don't want to be very lonely. Additionally, around 29, things will start to hurt for no reason. Exercise, eat well, and see a doctor if needed, and it will get better. Story 30. If you have a 401k available, start contributing now. It does not even have to be a lot, but just put something in it. Also, maybe contradictory advice, have fun. Do not get too blinded by a career. Take time to do things. There is time to start over. My greatest regret in life was being way too career-focused in my 20s. I always wanted to backpack across Europe and stay in hostels. I am 40 now. I never did it. I also completely switched careers and am in an entry-level position. I sacrificed a good bit of my 20s for nothing.